Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Peace Fund with Ethan Dettenmaier and Adrian Paul, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Good morning, everybody. How are you? Ethan, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How was your car last week?
Oh, that's funny. Well, have you seen The Road Warrior?
No, I haven't seen. I was just wondering what happened to the Beast. Not you, but the car.
Well, actually, I wish I was driving the Beast, because had I been in the Panzer, I could have gotten a double blowout and not even felt it. I could have still made it to my destination, which I've had to do in the past. Unfortunately, I was in my wife's Volvo. Double blowout, lost control of it on the freeway, which in itself was adventurous. I mean, real Smokey and the Bandit type stuff. But I did manage to get it to the side of the road, and it was at a part in the 14 freeway/5 overpass where there's no on-ramps for 7 miles. So that doesn't factor into anyone's thinking until you're waiting for a tow truck that could take either the carpool lane or the truck route and miss you because you're actually at a different concourse.
Oh, God.
So it was really entertaining. To be honest with you, I learned many things. There was some courtesy involved, blowout, truck behind me threw on its hazards. So once I got control of the car, I was able to get to the side of the road. I realized I was in a dangerous spot, so I moved it up about 200 yards to get behind a concrete barrier. And I noticed I had stopped right where a 36-year-old woman was killed a week before changing a tire. So that stuck in my head. As negative as that situation is, it was a positive for me because I said, you know what, I'm going to climb this. People are gunning down. I mean, it's like the Indy 500, that little part of the freeway. It's a death trap,
Every
basically.
part of the freeway is an Indy 500 these
This
days.
one, though, even the tow truck driver said to me when he got to me, he's like, this is the most dangerous piece of freeway in Southern California. He thinks Sierra, my tow truck driver, that's his name.
Thank you, Sierra, for saving.
He did save me, actually, because, I was like, man, this is crazy out here. And I ended up shooting a bunch of photos, just like of the traffic going by.
How long were you there? Because obviously I did the show without you last week.
Which is amazing,
and it was,
in concept alone.
Well, in concept, yeah.
Was I missed?
In reality,
I heard people were cheering my absence.
We were actually talking about you, me and Bev. Actually, Bev Shahara was here in the studio with us.
Said, how peaceful is this?
It was amazing. It was just like
this is a breath of fresh air. We should do it without him more often. And you thanked Bev. You said, Bev, way to put that shiv in his tire. Good job this morning.
You know something? I actually had the same situation years and years ago where I was actually really poor. Still am, but anyway. I had no money in my pocket. I'd gotten this commercial downtown Los Angeles, and I went downtown Los Angeles with my VW Bug that I loved at the time. And I was like, oh, great, I made $350 today. I can at least pay the rent this month. Oh. And as I'm coming back down the freeway, my steering wheel starts shaking. I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Suddenly, I get a boom, and the car drops. And as I look out to my left of my car, my back wheel, the wheel goes past me on the freeway, hits the mid-center divider, and then crosses 4 lanes of traffic, missing cars.
The rim, the tire, everything?
No, the whole wheel.
Wow.
The whole wheel came off.
That is a death trap.
And it bounced into the trees and disappeared. I'm on 3 wheels now. I steer it to the side. I lost the wheel.
Yeah.
I lost the wheel. I had to get it towed. I was like, the $350 I just earned was right out the window. So don't worry, I know what you mean. Anyway.
Yeah, it was frustrating. I'm sorry I missed the broadcast. I'm sure it was a better show because of it, though, and I managed to get off the freeway safely with a whole new set of experiences. So it's
actually, what we talked about last week, the update and news update we had last week was on the enterovirus D68. The virus now spreading to the northeast. Cases have been confirmed by the CDC in 11 states and suspected in an additional 16 states, bringing the total closer to 27 states. With children back in school in close contact with each other, the CDC expects the virus to spread even more. As we said last week, you can reduce the risk of contracting enterovirus D68 through frequent hand washing. We had that big discussion last week about washing hands and watching people do it. The virus is relatively hardy and can live on surfaces for some time, so it's important to use a hand sanitizer and frequently disinfect communal surfaces such as tabletops and doorknobs. Think of another thing that a lot of grocery stores have now, the shopping carts that you have, that you go to the shopping cart. Do you wipe it down with a sanitary towelette that they actually supply? If they don't, use your own. It'll avoid germs from spreading, since the incubation period can be as long as a week. So that's the update for that particular news segment we had last week. So what are we going to be talking about this week? it's one of our subjects. The reason why we're going to be bringing this up, our guest this morning, who's going to be coming on in about 10 minutes, will be Eric Zuli from the Easy Way Broadcasting and WTV. He's coming on to promote the Stop Tour, which the Peace Fund will be a beneficiary of, or the beneficiary of. It is to raise awareness of bullying in our schools. Now, we've talked about bullying quite a bit more, or quite a lot in the past. October is National Bullying Prevention Awareness Month. October 7th is World Bullying Prevention Day, and the Stop Tour is on September 27th. I think I'm right on that. You can look at it and Eric will tell you all about where you can find and what the Stop Tour is about. It basically tells you that this problem is pervasive around the world. I think we talked about it last time, Ethan, when we were discussing. When I first saw one of the largest sites I've ever seen was from a young boy in England who had been bullied, and he started a website about bullying and talked to other kids about it. And eventually, it had 1 million kids on that website, because who were talking to each other about the problems they faced in schools, online, and other various places that they frequented about bullying. And we've talked about this before. We had a show specifically about this. Each year there are more than 3.2 million students who are victims of a bully, making it the most common form of violence experienced by young people in the nation.
Shocking.
Well, didn't you said, I mean, we talked about your daughter. She was never really bullied, but she did something. I want to reiterate this because it was a very interesting comment you made about your daughter.
She's actually here. She's in the green room. She's off today because of student conferences.
Well, maybe she can come in and talk to us about the incident that she did.
You know, I can ask her. It would probably take quite a while to get her off her tablet to explain. She's actually very nonchalant about the whole thing. I was remarkably proud because I understood. I'm one of these parents that grasps exactly, and I think you are too. We know where we are in the human timeline. We know that this will all pass. We know that this is a privilege to be fathers of great kids. And every moment, even the bad ones, are something to be treasured, right? So I knew there was a lot at stake, and I'll paraphrase the story quickly. There was a couple of kids in school, bully, victim. They were going at it. They'd been going at it for years in some way, and one day the bully punches the girl in the back of the head. My daughter says, "That's it." Goes in the principal's office, says, "This is what I just saw. It goes against our code of conduct. You know, you need to do something about it because this bully had choked this girl at one point and had done really kind of violent actions." You know, Sean had said for weeks, "I'm going to tell if it gets out of hand." So she tells. The principal calls in the bully, says what happened, then later calls in the victim, says what happened. The bully later confronts the victim on the playground, and the victim is quick to say, "I didn't tell on you, Sean did," and point Sean out. And Sean, and I told her to say this, said, "Look, you would want me to tell if someone was bullying you," and said that to the bully. You know, you would want me to stand up for you if you were being bullied by someone in 7th or 8th grade. So she was very brave about the way she had gone about it. What was hard for her is I think she thought her reputation was going to take a blow as a tattletale. And it's funny when you're 10 and 11, what's really...
that's important. I know what you mean. It's what's important then. It's like...
You know, it was trying to tell her that that's not a big deal and what you did was rather heroic. That doesn't really cut it. You know, she's like, gosh, how am I going to be looked... So the next day at school, I told her, I said, look, if you want to... You know, shameless dad that I am, I'm like, if you want to take the day off and go to Disneyland or something, you know, let's go. Forget it. You don't have to go to school today. You know, you've earned a day off. And she goes, no, I want to go. It's my school. And I saw her when she walked in the gate. She walked in alone, and I could tell her looking back at me that she was apprehensive. Like she wasn't sure what she was in for. But ultimately, she went in there. She stood her ground. She was not confronted in a negative way, which surprised me. And that's when I got the blowout in my truck, was racing back after this show to try to get there because I wanted to be the first parent at the school. I wanted to be there when she stepped out of the gate just so I could be there to have a positive presence. Double blowout driving my truck, and of course I don't feel it, so I do go about 10 miles. That's
another blowout you've had. That's the second one now. What is it?
It's something about Wednesdays. I don't know what it is. It's lightning hits my tires, but you know, but it was all very positive, and I thought personally I was really proud of her to do what, you know, I don't know a lot of kids would do. I think a lot of kids are just glad it's not on them. They passively wait for it to pass. They don't get involved, and I was really impressed that she stood up and said, you know, don't do that. And she'd repeatedly warn the girl and finally said, that's it, I'm telling.
I think it's important also to know that, there's, to let kids understand that, fear is one of the greatest things that drive us as human beings, pretty much, because we are afraid to change jobs. We're afraid to change relationships. We're afraid to say the wrong thing. But a lot of the time when it comes from your gut and you do it and you stand up for what you believe in, it can have a very positive change in your life and the lives of, because what you just said was very interesting. You didn't know what the reaction was going to be, neither did Sean. She didn't know what the reaction was going to be, and probably she gained a lot of respect from other kids for doing what she did.
I think she did privately. I don't think a lot of kids can, state that.
No, it's not. But it starts at a kid's age. If you start it there, and then by the time they're 20, 30 years old, that really will have an effect on their life as an adult. Mm-hmm. And so I think it's very important to start. I mean, let's talk about some facts here. Bullying is different than peer conflict. It occurs, when you've got a group of students or one student they repeatedly hurt or humiliate. An isolated, less powerful. This is the what's it called? The law of the jungle, pretty much. They pick on the weaker. It's like I was watching this thing on dinosaurs. They just and animals and stuff, and they pick the weaker one in the group. We, as supposedly higher thinking sentient beings, we should be
question mark
exactly. We should be able to sort of pull ourselves away from that and realize that's not the way we should behave. Some people believe bullying is a rite of passage, but in reality it's a threat to students' safety and well-being. It says, some say bullying makes a child tougher and it's not a serious problem, but the reality is that students who are bullied are more likely to be depressed and or suicidal. So for us, we've had different groups that have come on here before. We had a young group called Breaking 27 who actually might be taking part in the Stop Tour. We were actually contacting them regarding this, who go to different schools and talk about or play about the sobering message of bullying in schools, because it's estimated that 160,000 kids a day miss school due to the fear of attack or intimidation by other students. 15% of all school absenteeism is directly related to fears of being bullied at school. 1 in 7 students in grades kindergarten to 12th grade is either a bully or a victim of bullying. Now, the interesting point about that is that the bully has usually been bullied before.
Of course.
We've had this discussion
probably
on the
by
show.
Their parents.
That's the point. And therefore, and who was it went up to them? We talked about this before. How you actually go up to a bully and say, "I'm sorry, maybe you can do this. I want to be your friend or whatever," because they feel isolated as well, and that's an important issue.
You can do it, Spielberg.
Matthew Kaplan.
Well, was that the was that?
I don't know. That was weird.
Where was that from? I don't know. That sounded like it came out of John Bierly.
That's somebody.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, John.
Part of the conversation.
Good morning.
Matthew Kaplan, is that what you said?
Yes, Matthew Kaplan from the B1 project.
Right. Okay. So that was a very interesting fact. Do you want to highlight that discussion there, John?
Yes, Matthew Kaplan is one of our Peace Fund Heroes of the Week. We've had him on. He was actually on our show on April 2nd when, no, he's been on. We first talked about him, I believe, on April 2nd. He was on just a few weeks ago when we had Carrie Keegan on the show. Carrie Keegan talked about some of her own experiences with bullying, and Matthew came on and talked about his B1 project. Now, the B1 project you can find at b1project.org. Or excuse me, theb1project.org, and 1 stands for Open to New Experiences. Now, in Matthew's idea is that once we can understand our differences, we can celebrate those differences and be open to new experiences. So he goes around and he does these workshops and programs in schools to get the kids to come together and do activities together and kind of break down those walls. And his idea is that if a young person lashes out as a bully against other young people, then there's probably something in that bully's life that is broken or bad, and he wants to try to get to the root of that and try to help those kids understand why they behaved in that way, to try to curb that behavior and actually, come back into friendship with the kids that they previously bullied. It's a really great program.
Well, I want to put some facts out there. I want to bring Eric Zuli on right after this, but I want to put some of these facts out there regarding bullying. Everybody, look. 1 in 4 teachers see nothing wrong with bullying and will only intervene 4% of the time. Several reports claim that 60% of boys who bullied from 1st grade through 9th grade were convicted of at least one crime by age 24, and 40% had 3 or more convictions by age 24. Today's bullies can be tomorrow's criminals. These are bullying facts. So this is why we need to stop it. Over 67% of students believe that schools respond poorly to bullying, with a high percentage of students believing that adult help is infrequent and ineffective. 282,000 students are physically attacked in secondary schools each month. According to bullying statistics, 1 out of 10 students who drops out of school does so because of repeated bullying. And the last fact is basically harassment and bullying have been linked to 75% of school shooting incidents.
Now that I'm sure. Surprised that's
Right?
so low.
75% of school shooting incidents has started from harassment and bullying.
No one who feels great about themselves goes in and blasts a place.
Absolutely correct. Let's get Eric on the line. I want to talk about the Stop Tour, about what the tour is about, and about that, because I think the impact of bullying ripples through society at a much older age, and the last thing we want to see are school shooting incidents. So
give me a moment here. I'm adding them.
Okay, so he's going to be added to the roster now.
Yes.
John, we talked about you once before. Have you ever been bullied?
I have not. No. Luckily, no.
Well, let me try it. No, I'm joking.
There you go. Well, he did say I bullied him over the Toad the Wet Sprocket idea.
That-
And that
that
was
is
technically
correct.
correct, actually. But I would make the argument that he deserved a little grief. Anyway, we'll leave it at that.
Hello?
Hello, Eric.
Yes.
Good morning. You're on with Ethan Dettenmaier and Adrian Paul at Peace Fund Radio. Morning, man. How you doing?
Good morning. Hey, Adrian. How you doing, buddy?
Good. So we've been talking about bullying this morning. I don't know if you've heard what we've been talking about, but we've been talking about some of the sobering facts in this country. The last one of which I just basically talked about, which is harassment and bullying, have been linked to 75% of school shooting incidents. So it's a very important problem. What I want to ask you is, why the Stop Tour? What made you go into the Stop Tour? And, is it a personal thing for you?
Yeah, I appreciate you giving me first of all, let me say I appreciate you giving me the opportunity to be on a station like yours, a show like yours, and shout outs to all your listeners. As far as, is it personal for me? Yes, it's very personal for me, because I myself have been cyberbullied and attacked with rip-off report and these stupid blogs that aren't true. And I have a lot of friends. And see, what happened is I just started having a lot of people that are associated with Easy Way, just tell me what's happening with them. And then I started seeing the suicides that are happening with the social media situations. And I just started seeing it kind of get out of proportion. And so my network, reaches millions of people, and we've been doing our thing for a long time. And I just wanted to come up with some sort of funnel that helps nonprofits. And our first event is fully supporting anti-bullying and cyberbullying.
So when is the event? Who's going to be there? What can people expect to see?
Well, the event's on September 27th in Los Angeles, California. It's at Busby's East, which is J-Lo's old spot. And there's going to be, auctions to raise funding. There's going to be over 10 different really hot performers. It's a showcase we're showcasing talent. We have, representatives, executives from Fox and Paramount and Capitol, and a lot of different people coming out to check out the talent. There's going to be amazing red carpet. It's from 2 o'clock until 10 o'clock on Saturday, September 27th. And if people want to know more information, they can go to stoptour.org and hashtag stop the nonsense, stop tour. And that's what the tour is really about, is it's a tour to help support nonsense that needs to be stopped. So if people have nonprofits, I think nonsense is a great general term. So we're looking to build relationships with nonprofits. We're looking to just kind of be a middleman. And you and I, Adrian, we've been friends for years, man. So I mean, what you do with the Peace Fund is just beyond amazing. I'm blessed you brought me on the advisory board, and I'm trying to help as much as I can. And I hope that we're able to really support and bring some value to your table on the 27th.
Well, I think we're going to do some good stuff together. I mean, obviously after the Stop Tour, all the funds that obviously the Peace Fund is a beneficiary of the Stop Tour. And we will be talking, as I said to you before, Eric, we have various organizations that we are in contact with that deal with bullying as well. And we will be, and I'll be mentioning this in a few weeks, having the money that is raised from the Stop Tour create programs that go towards bullying prevention. That's what our goal is, to actually protect, educate and aid children everywhere. Obviously, education is one of the things that bullying really affects, because it usually happens in schools at a very young age. So, I think it's a very it's this thing that does need to be stopped, and it happens in various areas of society. What other you have some other you talked about there's 9 different shows going on. You've got some celebrities attached to it. Who is it you've actually got involved in this, Eric?
Well, yeah, I have my show, which is an application-based talk show on the Actors Entertainment Network, Actors Reporter. I've been doing it for years. We're on our 4th season on IMDb, and it's a show that connects you to Hollywood, that connects you to high-level individuals. It's a fun talk show, green screen. I have my show on our radio station. We have a network called Easy Way Broadcasting on Blog Talk Radio. We also have Teens on Air with Zach Callison. We have Retha Gray from Betty White's Off the Rockers and my dad. They do a Baby Boomers live show. And then we also have Humanitarian Radio, which is an amazing show. As far as the media and other shows, I think you were asking, Adrian, goes for the Stop Tour. I mean, we're blessed. I mean, man, we have the Hype magazine involved, which is one of the #1 largest digital magazines possible. We have Urban 24/7, which basically distributes their content all over every flat screen in Southern California. We have Fan TV, Global Network. We have Music That Pays magazine, Actors Reporter. I have many photographers that are friends of mine that are lead photographers, Wire Image, Getty Images, PR Photos, Associated Press. We're in talks with all the mainstream media right now, and we're going to be we're trying to get this to the point where we can stream it live, so people can go to stoptour.org and they have the option to actually donate, bid, and be a part of it, even if they can't be there in person.
Well, I know you've actually, you started your career basically in social media, didn't you?
Well, I started my career in producing, actually. Not a lot of people know this. This is an exclusive for you, man.
Exclusive!
Yeah, you love exclusives. I started my career in producing and sales. Uh-huh. And so I started in sales. I've always been very good in sales. And I started a studio in Orange County, and I was producing music for a long time. And that got me into freestyling and writing music and composing and editing and engineering. And then I started meeting people. I got involved with I can't remember the radio station, xradio.biz. I was the DJ with them for a little bit. Then I got into meeting a producer and publicist after doing some shows and events. And then I ended up getting into the Hollywood world. And I saw the people holding a microphone and interviewing people. And I got bit by the bug, and I started doing that. And then I created a YouTube channel, which my first YouTube channel now today is 13 million viewers. It's called What You Need, letter U, What You Need TV. We ended up getting with Akon and working with Convict Music for a little bit. Then we ended up just working with all these entities and interviewing so many people and getting content. And then the content grew so strong and the following grew so strong, I was like, man, I need to turn this into a network. And so I created WTV Networks and created it into an online TV news blog, which is now thewtv.com or wtvnetworks.com. And then we built that got built. It got great. We get tens of thousands of viewers a week on that that blog now. And then I created Easy Way Broadcasting on Blog Talk Radio, and then that grew. And now Easy Way Broadcasting is kind of like the go-to main portal of the brand of everything, and then everything else is a subsidiary. Pretty much under it, and now we just now we created the Stop Tour. So I got to stop creating things. I'm the type of person I'll create something. I'll come up with an idea. I won't talk about it, and because I'm so good on social media, I'll create it. I'll make it happen. I'll make a website. I'll make this huge thing, and then I put too much on my plate. So now, we're creating a board, we're creating a committee, we got an amazing team. I want to shout out my Easy Way team. We got maybe 30 people on board that are really, really supporting everything that we're doing, and it's just amazing. I just found out that I'm a 70 ranking on Clout, and the highest you can get in the world is 100. So to be a 70 on Clout is pretty cool.
Well, look, you're talking about a lot of online stuff, web stuff. I mean, cyberbullying is a growing problem. It's basically, It's defined as a young person tormenting, threatening, harassing and embarrassing another young person using the internet or other technologies. And we've actually had, one of our heroes of the week actually was some girls from a university or a college that actually started a non-cyberbullying site that has grown. The psychological and emotional outcomes of cyberbullying, they're similar basically to real-life bullying, because the effects and the feelings are exactly the same when you get bullied online, which you talked about earlier on. And I think is very important. It can lead to anxiety, depression, and even suicide.
Yeah.
So it's a very important thing. I've got a lot of statistics here, which I think are very important. What sort of are you dealing anything with cyberbullying regarding the STOP tour? How is the STOP tour going to actually be? Is it to bring awareness to the general public, or what is the intent, and how is it going to affect bullying per se?
Well, the STOP tour was originated actually by an idea called Cyber Watch. So the cyberbullying is really how this all developed, and it's actually more serious now, because now today is a digital age. It's social media, it's tablets, the world is changing, and so cyberbullying I think is more devastating actually than regular bullying. I mean, they both go pretty good together, but cyberbullying is dangerous, and people don't understand how dangerous it is, and people don't understand that these little kids that are 3 years old are texting and bullying each other on phones almost, and then they grow up into this, and if it's not stopped, if awareness isn't grown to it, because these parents don't even know what these kids are doing, they have no clue. And I think the parents really need to get involved and know more about what's happening, and be way more involved when you touch a cell phone or you touch a computer, because I know people that have had literally their businesses ruined. And these are good-hearted people. They've had their businesses completely ruined by stupid blogs, and I know we're going to have some speakers. We're going to have some people talking about some of this. In fact, the girl you were just talking about, I would love to have speak on stage about her situation with the cyberbullying, because the whole point of this is to raise as much awareness as possible on what needs to be raised that people don't understand, because the digital world is different to a lot of people. Some people understand it, but some people don't.
Well, let me throw some facts at you and at everybody out here right now. Nearly 43% of kids have been bullied online. 1 in 4 has had it happen more than once. More than 1 in 3 young people have experienced cyber threats online. And over 80% of teens use a cell phone regularly, making it the most common medium for cyberbullying. And here's some more. 81% of young people think bullying online is easier to get away with than bullying in person, which it probably is. Only 1 in 10 teens tells a parent if they've been a cyberbullying victim, and that's a problem. Only 1 in 10. About 75% of teens have visited a website bashing another student, and bullying victims are 2 to 9 times more likely to consider committing suicide. Of the reported cases of cyberbullying, 87% occurred on Facebook. I'm sorry, Facebook, but that happens, and there's got to be a regulatory committee that does something to stop this. So, these are the hard facts that are actually out there that need to be stopped. And I agree with you, Eric. I mean, there's got to be some place where we can actually, stomp out the bullying, or stop the bullying, stop the nonsense, as you said.
Exactly, and if good people with good hearts get together for a good cause, a change can be made. A lot of people say you can't change Hollywood, you can't change things, you can try. I don't believe that. I believe that there's strength and power in numbers, and strength and power and heart, and people wanting to do the right thing. And I'll tell you, man, we've gotten so much support, and so many people that work with the NFL, people that work with major corporate companies, and the celebrities like yourself, and people that have just come from every direction because of what this is doing. I mean, the Los Angeles Children's Trust Fund just contacted us to get involved in a major event they're doing. It's a celebrity flag football game next year in April. We're involved in the E.J. Jackson Limousine Turkey Giveaway, feeding over 10,000 people. We're involved with the Watering Seeds and veterans. And all these causes have approached us. And we're keeping our focus on the main cause on the 27th. Each event is going to be a different cause. So we're going to do everything we can to raise awareness, raise funding, raise publicity and branding value to the Peace Fund. And we're just going to, I encourage anybody out there to go to stoptour.org, figure out how you can get involved. In fact, Adrian, if I could, I'd love to borrow those statistics and put them on our site. I'll create a special button that will let people understand. I mean, those are amazing statistics, and I'd love to borrow those from you and put them on. I'll put the Peace Fund's logo, that came from you guys. But people need to know what you just said. So please let me help.
Right,
get what you just got out that much more.
That's no problem. There were other statistics that you may have missed at the beginning of the show, which I basically talked about, which is, one of them is 1 in 4 teachers see nothing wrong with bullying and will only intervene 4% of the time. There are many other statistics that are out there that I will send off that we did talk about at the beginning of the show here. But Eric, the website is stoptour.org. Can't even talk this morning. And you can hashtag stop the nonsense, right? Is that right?
Correct. And then they can also download my application if they want. You can go to your Google Play or your Apple Store and just type my name, EricZuley, and everything is on the app as well if you want to go mobile.
All right, fabulous. Eric, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I know you're going to be busy with all the other stuff you've got. We'll be talking soon, and we look forward to supporting the tour.
Thanks so much for not chopping my head off, Adrian. I appreciate it.
Take care, man.
Bye.
Bye. So, sobering facts, I think the Stop Tour is, there are other, for you out there are other organizations making a difference in other parts of the country. Stomp Out Bullying is another one, which is www.stompoutbullying.org. They focus on reducing and preventing bullying, cyberbullying, sexting, and other digital abuse. It teaches effective solutions on how to respond to all forms of bullying, so it's a good site to actually have a look at. There's also No Bully. They're www.nobully.com. Their mission is to bring innovative, sustainable solutions to bullying and harassment in schools. They're a 501c3 organization that started in San Francisco in 2003. There's also, last one is makebeatsnotbeatdowns.org. They're a non-profit dedicated to presenting alternative help to bullies and the bullied youth through all aspects of art or music and education. So they have a very different approach to it. But all of these organizations are making a difference with this, and these may be some of the people we actually will be talking to really bring the Stop Tour to focus and to bring the Peace Fund to the forefront. John Bierly, you've been listening to all of us today, and I think you've got something to say regarding this.
Well, we've got so many incredible heroes of the week in the past who have contributed to the fight against bullying. Back actually on July 24th of 2013, we named Ethan's daughter Sean our hero of the week for her tireless work organizing. Yes. For her tireless work organizing food drives, toy drives for children, for the homeless, for helping Ethan create the Combat Radio Christmas Breakfast for Homeless Children, which is coming up, Ethan, on December 6th. Am I right about that?
December 6th, yes. 400 kids this year.
400
Outstanding.
This year. Cool.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Adrian had also mentioned Lauren and Victoria Coaxum, the two girls who have put together this incredible program called Think Before You Type, which you can read about on their site at Think Before You Type. It's tbytinc.org. tbytinc.org. And basically what Lauren and Victoria do is they put together these programs where they seek to create a safer internet and to encourage and empower young people worldwide to, again, break down those walls that cause bullying in the first place. They've actually begun to expand their empire with a new website called tbytmedia.com, where they are expanding their message into other media. They have dares and other videos and things where they challenge kids to, again, break down those walls. We'd mentioned earlier Matthew Kaplan from the B1 Project, theb1project.org. Thank you to our listener Tyson Sanah for tweeting that link out for us. We've also had Dalton Cyr on the show. Dalton is a 14-year-old recording artist who is extremely talented. He has contributed songs to anti-bullying albums. He's done an anti-bullying tour, and he includes an anti-bullying message as part of his live shows. He's done a lot of work to help the homeless and children of veterans. So this guy is just one of our favorite people. His website is Dalton Cyr. That's Dalton CYR.com. And I was actually speaking to Dalton's mother recently, and there are some pretty exciting things going on that he can't talk about quite yet. But let's just say I think that very soon he's going to be in a position to bring his very positive messages to a much wider audience. So congratulations to Dalton for all the hard work that you've got going on there. And of course, that brings us to our new Peace Fund Radio Hero of the Week. This is a rough story at the beginning, but it has a happy ending. Sanah Jivani is a high school senior from Spring, Texas. She was diagnosed at age 3 with alopecia areata, which is a common autoimmune disease that attacks the hair follicles, causing large bald spots, and in some rare cases, such as Sanah's, nearly total hair loss. Now, Sanah was 12 years old when her hair started to fall out in clumps until she had nearly none left, causing her to want to wear wigs and hats to school because of the damage the condition had done to her self-image and her self-esteem. Now, due to this documented and legitimate medical condition that she did not ask for and over which she had no control, Sanah still became the target of merciless name-calling and savage bullying, which culminated in the day that she opened up her locker to find a letter entitled 50 Ways to Kill Yourself, which, true to its name, outlined in vigorous detail the 50 vile and heinous ways its author suggested that Sanah kill herself for the crime of having been diagnosed with a documented and legitimate medical condition. Now, Ethan, if you're getting some weird feedback on the line, it's probably because you're hearing my blood pressure. It's just, terrible. Now, before the first day of her freshman year of high school, Sanah looked in the mirror and realized that her lack of hair actually made some of her other features stand out. So she stood there looking in the mirror and she said to herself, you know what? This is how I am. This is who I am. And then Sanah said it to the world, beginning her freshman year of high school without her wig and using her newly found confidence to help fellow students face their own insecurities. Sanah found herself giving advice to kids who were struggling with body issues, eating disorders, self-harming incidents, and even suicidal thoughts. And she realized that she could use her own experiences to make an even larger impact. And so she founded something called International Natural Day, which you can read about on her website at internationalnaturalday.com. If you go to the About tab on that website, you can watch a video in which Sanah tells her story. It's extremely inspiring. Right now, International Natural Day has spread to 28 countries around the world, from the United States to the United Arab Emirates, and it encourages young people to celebrate and accept themselves for who they are. The official date for International Natural Day is February 13th. It's a very, very cool reason, because Sanah's reasoning is that before we can learn to truly love others, we must first learn to love ourselves. How genius is that? So, for sharing her experiences in a way that has helped young people around the world find peace and happiness within, Sanah Jivani is this week's Peace Fund Radio Hero of the Week.
Yeah. That's
well
awesome.
Deserved.
Yeah, well deserved, absolutely.
I want that letter fingerprinted and turned over to the local authorities so we can arrest someone on charges for...
Yeah, no kidding, right? I read that and my jaw dropped. It's like, seriously? I think
that, where's the work farm?
yeah, here are 50 ways you should kill yourself for having a medical condition.
Is that,
it's shocking. It's just shocking to me.
But this is the power of the internet. The internet has some great things that you can find, like all the facts we found, but it also has a lot of stuff that should not be there. But that's why the internet now has to be policed.
Yeah, I agree.
Much like we do in everyday life, because it is part of our lives now. It's a very large part of our lives. I mean, we know now that most people use their mobile devices much more than they use a computer. It's become part of their everyday discussions.
It should follow social conduct regulations. I think you should just treat the internet as if you're talking in a room full of people. It's the exact same. Same rules apply.
Yeah, I agree.
You can be cited for bad language. You can be cited for pushing people around. You can be cited for all kinds of things. Fantastic story, though, and a very uplifting one at that. I got to give this little girl credit.
Yeah, absolutely. How old is she? How old is she now, John?
Right now, she is a high school senior, and you can go to you go to her website, International Natural Day, to get information on how you can participate yourself. If you want to do one of her programs at your school or at your workplace, she has forms that you can fill out that have all of the information and background information that you'll need. But she's 18 now. She's been dealing with the bullying. She started dealing with the bullying pretty heavily when she was 12, and for just one day she decided, I'm not going to let people bring me down anymore. She took off her wig and said, this is who I am, and used that confidence to inspire other kids to make peace with their own self-esteem issues. It's a really powerful story of how, once again, somebody uses their own experiences to help other people. And you think too, how many people that she inspired will in turn inspire others. And just keep on spreading
basically the domino effect
fantastic.
we'll talk about every week, John. It's basically, you have somebody does something and it really sort of snowballs into something else. And we talked about it this morning with Eric about his thing. Once somebody stood up and did something, things start happening, and he's finding that as well with the STOP tool, which we talked about earlier. You start one thing, as people say, oh, I've got that same problem, or I've got that. Suddenly somebody else wants to talk about it, but until you stand up and say something about it, nothing works. Nothing can actually move forward.
We had a friend in high school with the same condition. It was a guy who was one of the great guys. He's no longer alive, actually, for different reasons, but I remember he hung out with us in high school, and we were going surfing, and he had never surfed before, and we were at the beach, and my friend, it was a pretty gnarly day, and my friend goes, hey, nothing will help your confidence like risking your life this morning. And it was actually great advice. I look back and then I think that's great advice.
What a great statement. Nothing will boost your confidence.
It's 5 a.m. on like a Thursday, and we got to go to school by 7:58 or something like that. And he goes, nothing will help your confidence like risking your life this morning. And I said, well, there you go. You're going to do just fine.
Yeah, you'll do just fine.
It's a good day to, I guess, build your confidence or die. Here we go.
Oh gosh. Well, let's talk about some other sobering facts. Right now, we have the Peace Fund has got a lot of things going on. The Stop Tour is the first one, which we've discussed just earlier in the program. www.stoptour.org. We are the beneficiary of that, and we will be contacting John. Actually, we're going to be contacting some of the past heroes of the week to give us some that deal with bullying, so that we can actually discuss with them how best to sort of support this tour.
Absolutely, I've got the list.
Right, fabulous. And I know that you've been talking with Bev and everybody else regarding that. The other thing is we have our poker tournament, everybody. This is peacefundpoker.org. Peacefundpoker.org is open to everybody to play. You can come and play at Peace Fund Poker with the celebrities, with myself, and it's very easy. You can see on the site there are great ways to get involved. It's not just playing poker. If you can't get there, you can still support the games by actually adopting a player or adopting a celebrity. How does that work?
That's what I want to do.
How does that work? What happens there is you find a player that you like. It might be somebody that's there who have said to you, "Oh, I'm your friend. You're my family member. You're my friend. You're my colleague. Can you support me in this?" Well, how do you do that? There are two ways to do it. You support them through the position that they fall out in the games. In other words, if there are 200 players and you sponsor them $1 per or 50 cents per position, and they drop out in the 150th spot, you owe them 25 or 50 bucks. So you are able to, with the help of everybody else that supports that player, raise a certain amount of money. And now if you do that with 200 players, all of a sudden that becomes a lot of money. The other way is to actually support them through the competition in each of the levels they go through. You could say, I'll give you $5 or $10 per level that you make it through the competition. That basically, again, there are 6 levels in the competition. If they go out in the 3rd level, you owe them $30 if you sponsor them for 10. There are different ways to sponsor. We are also looking for sponsors. You can have your name on the tables. You can have your name on the players' pages. You can have your name on the step and repeat banner.
What's that cost? What's that cost? Name on the table.
Name on the table is $500. It's very simple. It's $500 for your name on the table. If it's a name on a player's page, it's $100. So if you want your logo on a player's page, it's $100. On a celebrity's page, it's $300. Those facts will be on the website very shortly. It's a fun way to get involved, and we will be also having for the non-celebrities what we call an accessorize me kit. Basically, funny hats, boas, mustaches, all that type of stuff, and you can donate minimum of $25 to have them wear this outfit for one.
I'll give you my
$25
right now if I can pick your outfit. I got $25
sorry,
hard
notice it says
cash
celebrities.
right now.
I'm part of that.
You're the celebrity.
I'm the celebrity, but you can't sponsor a celebrity.
Oh, so you're exempt.
No, we're exempt.
Oh, this sounds like a congressional measure.
But it's a question you ask if you can do it. If the player refuses, they have to pay the $25.
Okay, well, I'm asking you if I can dress you up.
I'm not a player. I'm a celebrity.
I'm asking you just the same. I mean, it's for the cause, Adrian. Are you going to take a bullet for the cause?
This is really good. He's putting me on spot online. I'll
I
wear it
want
for
my
$25.
logo on that table. We'll do it. We need some help.
We've got logos to be put on there. It's a very easy way for everybody to go out there, and it doesn't matter where you are in the country or in the world. The Peace Farm Poker will be supporting Wells Bring Hope. Wells Bring Hope are building wells in Niger, West Africa, which is the world's poorest country. So we are planning to build at least 2 wells with this poker competition. So please, please, please come and support us in so many ways, and all that information will be on the website within the next day or so.
Quick question regarding this issue. It's a hot topic, as you know, but I don't play poker, so can I sponsor a player to represent me?
Yes, you can.
I'm calling Kenny Rogers.
Yes, you can. You can
own
do that.
this thing.
And you know the other thing we actually have...
He knows when to hold them. He knows when to fold them.
You can do that. You can have somebody represent you. Absolutely.
I got it. I'm bringing in Kenny Rogers.
And let me tell you
or
something.
Val Kilmer.
Let me tell you something else. If you do not play poker, we have been given by one of the Microsoft employees 6 days prior to the event an app that you can learn to play poker, and all the money goes to the Peace Fund.
Look, I'm going to actually refrain from learning another bad habit.
Actually, your wife was talking about that earlier on.
No, I'm not. She let her get involved in it. I don't really need another vice.
No, she says I can't do that. Yeah, well, you know.
But, I'm happy to get involved in other ways. I'm all about it.
Well, that's what we have there. And obviously the Peace Fund games are on the way. We will bring you more updates about that. We are doing some restructuring at the moment regarding that. But probably by the end of the week, next 2 days, we will have an update on the site as to where that stands and what's happening with it. It's a great event. We've got lots of celebrities, and we've got some really cool things happening on that event. Peace Fund games, paintball.
I'm looking forward to it. Christmas breakfast? Can I say something?
Christmas breakfast, of course.
You know, this is what I get since I can't pay to have you dress up. I had a clown outfit all picked out at the Halloween shop for you.
Thank you.
But December 6th is our annual Combat Radio Christmas event for homeless children. You can support the cause and get the Combat Radio Christmas albums featuring many of our celebrity regulars, including a little bit from Adrian Paul, wishing you a Merry Christmas.
That outtake is... I haven't heard it yet.
The outtake is on there, actually. There are some outtakes on the album just for humor purposes, and it's actually quite hilarious because people were hilarious. It's a mix of both music and audio clips, like 1930s, 40s kind of Christmas radio. So it's actually really done well. A lot of great celebrities on it. And you can get the album and support the cause by going to www.gofundme.com/A Combat Radio Christmas. That's gofundme.com/A Combat Radio Christmas. And for a donation to the cause, helping the Christmas reach about 400 homeless kids this year, you can get yourself the brand new Combat Radio album and lots of other epic prizes.
Awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
Thanks for letting me say that.
Can you tell me what the date is? Because you know something.
It's December 6th.
You don't have the date on your sites. Do you know that?
No, I don't know that.
Yeah,
I thought it was
it's not on the sites. We've tried looking for the date on it. We looked on your Facebook page. We looked on the...
It says December 6th everywhere.
Have a look for it. You have a fundraising campaign for it as well.
And it says December 6th on there?
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
Okay, want to bring it up?
Yeah, I do want to bring it up.
Don't bring it up.
Okay, will you dress like a clown when I prove you wrong?
Please. Will you dress like a clown if I prove you wrong? Because we've had people looking for it on the site.
We can't find it. We can't find it.
Seriously,
the date is December 6th.
Okay, now we know it's December 6th, but we did know it was that.
I'm unpacking my gear
for you,
just to actually...
Basically, on the site, we're having an argument here. This is a tiff. If you go to the fundraising page, which is on where's the fundraising page, Ethan?
It's right here. It's GoFundMe.com/Combat Radio Christmas.
Right.
And I'm bringing it up.
Right. There you go. Bring it up.
And this is drum roll. This is to get Adrian to wear a clown costume. Every Christmas.
No fun. Unfortunately, you're gonna be proven wrong here, Ethan, because we looked for it on that site and you can't find it.
You know what? Hold on. I'm sure it's on here. I'm sure it's on here.
I'm sure it's on here somewhere, buried deep within the text.
No. I wrote a impassioned speech.
But
about
you can't.
The entire thing.
If you're going to open that site, you have to have the date front and center. You see? Okay, tell me I'm right. Look. Tell me I'm giving you some help here because people don't know when it is.
Don't
worry. We've done the same thing. You get wrapped up in the event and what it's about. You forget to do some of the stuff. We did that on the paintball as well as the poker tournament. Our poker tournament is October 11th. Everybody, www.peacefundpoker.org. Now we're running out of time, so we've got to jump. While Ethan desperately tries to prove me wrong.
Well, first of all, the date is on there. I'm sure of it. But also, it's a private event anyway. You can't attend.
Oh well, there you go.
Unless you have a special pass.
Well, there you go. But anyway.
Yeah. So hold on a second here, and then.
But I've got to go because we're out of time here.
Oh, it's like that.
Look at your clock. You're going to have Ronan jumping on your thing. Am I right?
I don't need to give Ronan another
am I right here? Okay, so listen, everybody,
tennis.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you for all the Peace Fund volunteers, for all of you that are going to volunteer. Also, for the show, for the Peace Fund poker event, we do look for a few volunteers to actually help us. We have a couple now. But also, spread the word about the poker. You can help us by putting it online. Anybody can play. You got some poker buddies? Put it out there for you. Thanks to the Speechley family for making the show possible. Thanks to John Bierly, Bev Shahara, the Peace Fund board, and everybody else at the Peace Fund. This is a quote. We've dealt with bullying today. It's an anonymous quote, but it's powerful. Your words have power. Use them wisely. This is Adrian Paul and Ethan Dettenmaier. We will definitely talk to you again.
You're listening to Peace Fund with Ethan Dettenmaier and Adrian Paul, right here on LA Talk Radio.